Well, hello everyone. It is Deb Naylor, aka the Flying Stamper, here today to give you some tips and share some alternate ideas for the May 2026 paper pumpkin called Sparkling Celebrations. A really fun summer kit. It almost looks like 4th of July to me, but I didn't make any 4th of July cards. So let me go over the actual projects and we'll talk about a few things here. So this is what the three cards, it makes a total of 9 cards, 3 of each design. And here is how they are if you follow the directions and make them the way the kit was built. I love the coordinating envelopes. So there's one. I did change my sentiment on this one, the celebrations, or the card says time to celebrate, which is one of the stamps that came in the kit this month, and I changed that to happy birthday to you. And then we have this one here, and I also changed the sentiment. This also was you are invited, and I didn't really have any reason to be making an invitation, so I just put to a wonderful friend, then I can make it a thank you card or a birthday card or a thinking of you. And then the last one is this cute little shutters, a window, and I did use the correct sentiment on that one. So these are the cards as designed. Couple of tips with the kit. Make sure on your spot that you just cut one end, leave the back attached so that you don't lose it and doesn't fall off and get lost. And then always store it upside down and keep your spot away from heat, sunlight, your heat register. They don't like to get too cold and they don't like to be too warm. Okay, other than that, I just have the usual tips that I always share. I never take my labels or my skinny little strips out of their holder until I've actually stamped the sentiment. That way they don't move around. They're a whole lot easier. Save all of your little punch outs from this. I'm going to show you a cute card with that. And save one of your negatives if this comes in, because I'm going to show you a idea with that. Sometimes I come up with great ideas for the negatives. So the kit made 9 cards. I think I got 13 out of it. I stretched it a little bit. So let me go through some of those with you right now. So here's one of them. Now this one I ended up adding a card base and then the circle die and then the pretty ribbon. Everything else is from the kit. I did cut the card base up, so that's this one and it's the back side, so that I could get an extra card out of it. And then we have our window shutters, and this one I added just a white card base, and then again I have that back of one of these cards in here. That's in here, and I sort of thought this was like opening up the shutters at night and you just see the dark sky and stars. And then I stamped happy birthday inside. Happy birthday is from a different stamp set. And then this is the same card. I just put a different sentiment on the outside. This is from a different stamp set. I have a nephew that's turning 12 next month. So I just turned the card around a little bit. The orientation of it, instead of being this direction, I turned it down, and then I added a white card base, and then I used some of my dies to get the number 12 out. Everything else is from the kit. Okay, now this one is interesting. I cut up this card base, so that looks like this. So I cut this down and I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then, so then you have 2, and then I cut this part off, which I believe is 2 1/2. And then I turned it in this direction. I grabbed the little lantern from this card, and I used the coordinating dies that went with the quarterly dies that went with this stamp set. They're called Wonderful Scenes. They are still available, and these are always only while supplies last. So I use this little sign. I love this. I think it just makes really cute cards. And then this one also goes with this month, and I'll show you in a minute how I used it. So speaking of quarterly dies, these go with April, May, and June. So the next set of quarterly dies for the next quarter, those will come out probably next week. I think they come out right around the first of the month. And what I've been doing for everyone is ordering them as a group and then just getting them to you either via the mail or when I see you. And that saves a lot on the shipping if that's the only thing that you're ordering. If you're ordering other things, you can just order it to your die. If you're one of my customers, you can find this information out, and when I do the group order on our Paper Pumpkin Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook, just reach out and I'll make sure that I message you. I usually do that anyways. Okay, so that's how this one came to be. And then I mounted it on some Daffodil Delight cardstock. And then this is another one, very, very similar. Only real difference is I didn't have another light to put up here, a lamppost to put on here, so it doesn't have that on it. Okay, and here's another one, still using that same die, and then just cutting up the card base and adding those cute little bulbs on there. I think these will make really cute birthday cards for guys, but you know, it's just this time to celebrate, so it could be for something else, an anniversary or some other thing that you want to celebrate. Here's another one, just turn this around a little bit, used a different card base. Here's another one. All I added to this one is the basic white card base. Okay, now I mentioned earlier saving the negatives. So when you punch out this frame, you end up with a whole bunch of little squares and then these kind of like quarter circle things. Let me show you what I did with them. So on this one, hopefully you can see it, I took a piece of basic white cardstock and then I took those little pieces and I glued them down. So there's 3, 2, 3, and 2. So I just kind of, you know, tried to make them all spread out about the same. They're probably not perfect because I'm not perfect, but they look great. Then I embossed them with a new embossing folder from the catalog, the new catalog, and it's called Fern and Flora. It's a 3D embossing folder. So those white little squares were glued onto the white cardstock, and then I ran it through my machine. And then this is what it turns out like. Hopefully you can see how much texture is there. And then this is from the kit as well as the sentiment. Okay, so also on this, when you punched it out, you have these quarter circles. So I took the quarter circles and I kind of lined them up to make like a little pie-ish, I guess. Spread them out a little bit. Then I stamped them. You get this little star stamp in the kit. I stamped them with that. And then this is from one of the card bases. This I actually is from the kit, but then I punched it down with one of our label stamps. And this is from the card base. And these are on Secret Sea. Secret Sea is the cardstock that I used. And it's dark in the inside, so you have to line it so that you can write something. Okay, and then you have, after you punch these out and use them all up, you have another negative. And so for that negative, I stamped it again with that little star stamp. And then I mounted it on a piece of Misty Moonlight stamp set. And then these are dies from one of the new, I think it's called Bouquet Blooms, one of the new dies from the new catalog. And then another little stamp there, and then punch that circle out. So there's some ideas on how to use those negatives this month. Put those up. All of these will be posted on the Facebook page, but if you aren't on Facebook and you need a copy of something, just let me know. I'll send you the photo. Tonight is the Paper Pumpkin blog box, so please be sure and check my blog later. Tonight it goes live at 6 o'clock. You'll have a lot of other ideas that the rest of the team has come up with. Couple things. Let's talk about a kit next month. It's called Bikes and Blends. It's really cute. It's going to make 9 cards, 3 of each. Three designs, 3 of each. It's got some silver foil in it. There are butterfly embellishments, lemon thread, calypso coral is the color of the spot. And the other coordinating colors in the kit are going to be Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie. If you are not a current subscriber, to get that kit, you need to do so by June 10th. So be sure that you subscribe before then. And then coming up next month, a couple of things. There will be new quarterly dies coming out. There is a new product of the month. The products of the month have been extremely popular. The only one that's left right now is the Berry Botanical Vellum. All of the rest of them are sold out. The product of the month, we don't have access to order it yet, but it is a really cute stamp set. And how do you get the product of the month? Well, with a $75 order, you can add the product of your month while it's available for $5. So these have been terrific bargains. Also next month, there will be 2 new kits, and then there will also be the last chance list will be updated with some new bargains. So lots of exciting things coming in June. And if you are one of my subscribers, you should have gotten your catalog by now. This went live May 5th, and it's good through the end of August. So if you don't have your catalog yet, or you need a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, reach out and we'll make sure that you get one. I've got a few extras in the studio, and we'll make accommodations to get you a catalog. Okay, until next month. Have fun with your paper pumpkin kits. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out. Talk to you later. Thanks again.